So, going back to your question, how can we treat this? Well, first of all, I would say we have to look at the person as a whole. It's a human being. There is a nervous system, there is a brain, there is a mind. There is a social life, there is personal life, there is friends, there is family, there is things that the person wants to do, there is a job, there is all kinds of those things. So when a person comes to a healthcare practitioner, don't just look at the symptoms. Ask the person, what's their lifestyle? How are they living? What are they eating? What are they thinking? How's their life? Are they social life? What's happening with them? Get to know them. Unfortunately, that is a problem with the conventional approach to medicine because there's just not enough time. You can't get all this information in 15, 20 minutes. You go to a family doctor, you tell them what's wrong. Okay, let's see here. Maybe, get some cream. Here, take some of these, red pills, blue pills. That's against this. Next. And that's all. You never get to the point of the problem. There is never a realization. And basically, pills, my metaphor or my analogy of this, it's like you're trying to fix hardware which is constantly running bad software.
Right, so the pills are a hardware solution to
but the
something
software
that's
is the same.
The software is just creating the same problem.
It's the same. You don't change the software, you change the hardware, but it's going to be breaking and breaking again, again, and again. So, look at the person as a whole. Then there is a whole approach to analysis. For example, the way we work in my field, in this positive psychology and neurolinguistic programming, you can basically sit the person down in a chair and put a chair in front of them. I know this is going to be sounding like voodoo magic or something, but yet it works and it does amazing things for people. You sit the person down in a chair, you put a chair in front of them, and you ask them to imagine if, just if, use their imagination, if their sickness or illness would look like something, what would it look like? Would it look like a big black blob? Would it look like some kind of a person, a monster, a dragon, or like a tiny thing? Everybody will have something different. Sit it on the chair in front of you. Just look at it for a moment and simply start asking a question. What is the meaning behind this sickness? What are you trying to communicate to me? What is it you want me to do, or what is it you want me to stop doing? And just listen. And if you simply just listen without judging, without any preconceived notions, a lot of things do begin to pop out.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Of course, as an expert and as a practitioner, you have to first put the person into an altered state of consciousness, because if you just came from a meeting and you're thinking about the business, or somebody called you on the cell phone, you're not going to be focused on that. It's all about relaxation. It's all about slowing down, relaxing, and then establishing the lost communication between your unconscious mind and your body. It's all about listening to yourself, because this thing right here, your body, can tell you much more than any doctor. I think it was Friedrich Nietzsche who said that your body is much deeper, has more understanding, or has more meaning than your deepest philosophy. So again, look at the person as a whole, understand the problem, not just from the physical, but also from the psychological perspective. It's not going one way or another, it's about taking the whole picture.
Yeah, I heard a Deepak Chopra quote where he says, look at your body now, that's the condition of your mind in the past. Exactly. Look at your mind now, that's the condition of your body in the future.
Exactly. It's a reflection. The body is a reflection of what's happening in the inside. It's always is. Whether it's the bad food that we're eating, for example, eczema, when a person is eating too much chocolate or too much of something, there can be an allergy. Again, it's a reaction, it's a communication. So any sickness or any illness is a form of adaptation of our body to the environment, whether it's external or internal. Both of them.
So really for a person, it involves, the best thing that people can do is to have a moment of stillness, look inside themselves and try and get that communication that their subconscious or their body is trying to send to them.
Absolutely, you're right. There's a whole actually methodology. There's a whole probing method of how you can go and how you can work with those things. There's a technique, there's a technology behind it. But on a very basic level, yes, just start asking questions and start listening.
And for healthcare practitioners, how can they be a part of this process that is beneficial instead of coming in and taking out the light bulb of the oil light or just treating the symptoms? How can healthcare practitioners who want to help, and I think 99.9% of healthcare practitioners want to cure people of their illnesses, what's their way to contribute in your view?
Well, I would say the very first step is deconditioning, because a lot of official allopathic medical MD doctors, they have been conditioned. The school years, maybe 6 or 7 years for some people, of conditioning. Education, yes, and conditioning of a certain view, they are the result of how doctors treat people nowadays. So I would say the first thing to do is remember that the first reason why you got into this whole field is to help people. Not to sell drugs, not to prescribe medicine, not to look at the symptoms, but to really help people. That's number one. Number two, just because you finished your university or college and you got your degree, doesn't mean your education is over. You really don't know anything. There is so much more research going on right now. There's so many more things that are available, both in scientific and alternative journals. A lot of sources are out there. Become open-minded. There are so many approaches. You got to become holistic. You got to become more flexible. You got to adapt to sickness more. Sometimes it's going to be a purely physical problem. Sometimes it's going to be a purely psychological problem. Sometimes it's going to be a combination. So I think it's more about for healthcare practitioners to start reading, to start attending courses, seminars, so they can get a different, more broader, more wider perspective on what's the possibilities out there. Because they want to help people, do it. Remember that. And see what other ways you can do it. See how you can combine your philosophy, your approach with some other ones. Because many fields have something good in them. Combine those things.